Hey everybody, welcome to Everyday Reviews. On today's review, we're having a look at a very important vehicle for Honda and one of the top selling compact SUVs in Canada, and that is the brand new 2023 Honda CR-V. This is no facelift. This is an all-new design of the 6th generation of the popular compact SUV or crossover, if you want to call it. Now, styling-wise, check this out. First of all, this color, you know I'm a big fan of blue, even though I'm wearing orange today. This is called Night Still Pearl. It's a great looking blue. It's a $300 option if you are in Canada. And yeah, I would say if you like blue, it's worth the 300 bucks. So styling wise, it seems like it's like all grown up. There's not it's not over styled at all. It's very bold. You have a very flat, low hood and a very upright grille design that you have here. The vehicle itself is longer by almost 3 inches. The wheelbase is 1.5 inches longer as well. So the vehicle is larger. Standard are LED headlamps on all trims. Now we are driving the sport trim, and this actually gets upgraded 19-inch wheels up from the standard 17-inch wheels on the base trim. And also you get a lot of more black accents, black gloss finishes on, throughout the vehicle. It gives it a sporty look. That's probably where they come up with the term sport. Now you move on to the back, you also get a standard power liftgate. Now it is not a hands-free power liftgate. You do get that feature if you go into the hybrid trim, which we will be testing in about 6 weeks time from now. So make sure, if you want to check out that review, make sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification so you'll know when that video comes out. So that one does come with the hands-free where you can just kick it and it'll open, but this one does have the power liftgate. What I like about it though, once you open it up, you have such a wide area to load things. It's very squared off, and it's really low, so it's easy to load in. If you're loading heavy items, for instance, it's just really easy to load things in or take them out as well. There is a dual level floor, so you get probably about 2 inches more of depth if you want the maximum room. Now if you lift the floor cover up, you do get a spare tire. That is important to a lot of people, so I just want to let you know it does have a spare tire in here. You have folding seats, just flip the switch and down they come. It's nice and flat. So yeah, utility wise, the CR-V has always been good, and this one, there's no different. You do get about 20 liters more cargo area on this new version than you do with the previous generation. Overall, style-wise, I think it looks really sharp. What do you think? Leave a comment below. And you have the built-in signals in the mirrors as well, and that's as well standard, and they're heated as well. Moving on to the inside, you get one of my favorite features that Honda has implemented in their newer vehicles when they came out with the latest generation Civic, and that is this honeycomb kind of mesh that they have, this motif that goes straight across, and they've integrated the air vents into that with these joysticks that are really easy to use. I absolutely love that. And then when you come down lower, just the knobs themselves have this nice chrome knurling on them. It's easy to feel, but they also have some nice detents on them. See if you can hear it. Yeah, anyways, we get dual zone climate control. It's not tri-zone, but you do get air vents right in the center there. We also get a power sunroof on this. We have a 7-inch digital display for information display up front. Very configurable, very easy to use. And on this Sport, you get a 7-inch infotainment screen. Now, if you go into the next trim up, which is the EXL, then you get into the 9-inch display, which comes with wireless Apple CarPlay. This one here is wired. So if that's important to you, you might want to go into that next trim up. And we're going to talk about that in a second after we finish up with this one here. So we get cloth seats here. They're heated. We have a heated leather-wrapped steering wheel. It's very nice. And overall, the design is very open. You have good storage spots. It's very comfortable. Lots of headroom. You know, I feel like the roof is really high, even with the sunroof. So decent room in the back. So they've done a really good job of, you know, of the passenger capability of this compact crossover for sure. Now I'm gonna plug another product in this review, and it's not a sponsored product either, but I have been using, and I've done a review on it, and I'm telling you, if you want a wireless system, like, and you don't wanna buy up to the next trim level, you can get wireless adapters now that turn your wired system into a wireless system. I'm using the AutoCast right now, and I'm currently testing the Picasso 2. So not only does it give you wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, it gives you access to the entire Google Play Store. So whether you want to watch Netflix or play Angry Birds or check your emails, you can do all of that with your existing screen. Mind you, you only want to do that when you're stopped, right? Or you're as a passenger. So I'm telling you right now, do not do that when you're driving. So anyways, I'll leave a link below if you're interested in that. I've been using these wireless adapters now for about 3 months, and I can't live without them. It's just great. And you can hook multiple phones to them as well. Let's talk about the next trim up, which is the EXL. And this, normally I wouldn't say, you know, just go for the top trim, but this is a top trim before you get into the hybrid, and it's under $2,000 more. And I don't know if Honda did that on purpose or not, and I think that it's probably the better deal for sure. So for just under $2,000 for the EXL, you get leather seats, you get the 9-inch display with the wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You also get the upgraded audio system with more speakers, wireless charging. So all in all, a much better deal. Doesn't matter what trim you get though, all CRVs come loaded with a ton of safety and driver assist features. You know, you get things like rear cross traffic alert, lane keeping assist, traffic jam assist, a new traffic sign recognition system. You get forward collision alert, all of that with the new CRV. So we're sitting at a light right now. We will put on the brake hold. This does have the electronic parking brake. Brake hold, hit that, take our foot off the brake, and wait till the light turns green. And we'll talk a little bit of what's under this hood, what's powering the new CRV. First of all, there is a hybrid version, as I mentioned, which we will be testing, but we're just gonna talk about the gas right now, which is a 1.5 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. It puts out 190 horsepower and 179 pound-feet of torque. Towing capacity, if you do feel like you want to tow with this, is 1,500 pounds for the regular gas version. That's gonna be pretty adequate for the size of this vehicle. Most people are probably just going to maybe tow a small trailer, or maybe even just for your bike rack. Power goes to a CVT, which is a continuously variable transmission, and you do have the option on the lower trim levels like the LX to go with just front wheel drive. And if you go into the Sport that we have here, or the EXL, they come standard with all-wheel drive. It's a busy day today. There's a lot of traffic going on here, but it gives us a chance to listen to, you know, the sound isolation. How quiet is the cabin right now? We're running. We'll give it a few seconds here for you. All right, here we go. So off the line, let's give you an idea. That's under acceleration, and we're just steady gas right now. It is quite quiet, especially for a CVT, I have to say. Even we're on a rough concrete right now, and if you want to compare this to the most popular vehicle in this class, which is the RAV4, I would say this is definitely more on the quieter side than the RAV. Handling wise, it feels really solid. I like how it handles larger bumps. We just went over a bunch of manhole covers, railroad tracks. It handles very, very well. And yeah, it feels very substantial. The steering is not too light at all, which a lot of people will enjoy. And yeah, there's not an overly amount of body roll for an SUV. It's very, very good. And of course, Honda brakes. Love Honda brakes. Very, very progressive. Doesn't take a lot of effort, yet you feel very connected when you actually apply the brakes, that doesn't matter how hard you are actually pressing them. Actually, the CVT actually works quite well with the 1.5 turbo because you kind of get that little bit of a wind up of the engine, and that actually gets the turbocharger boost going, so there's less lag. It's actually quite responsive. So what do we like about the new CR-V? Number one, styling. Big fan of the styling. Like I said, it's all grown up. It's very, very proportional. They did a really good job styling. Second of all, I like the utility of this vehicle. That cargo area, opening it up, it's massive. It's easy to load things in. You get the power lift gate. I like the lower floor, and you get that spare tire. Big fan of that. And then the handling, just like the styling, I think everything's very, very balanced and proportional. You know, you have a decent amount of power. It's easy to drive. The vehicle tells you what it's doing, so no complaints of the drive of this new CR-V whatsoever. Now onto the dislikes. First off, there is no 360 camera, and there's no option for a 360 camera. You just cannot get it at all, and I think nowadays that's kind of a no-no. At least offer it. So the next thing is the price. So the two-wheel drive LX starts at $34,790. If you want to go into all-wheel drive, you're going to look at around $37,500. You get into the sport trim that we have here, and this is almost $42,000. It's $41,490. And for that type of money, you know, first of all, you could actually get into a RAV4 hybrid for less money than that, or if you want to go into a RAV4 gas version, like an XLE, you can actually get that for about $5,000 less with more power and similar features than what this CR-V is offering. And not that it's even a direct contender with the CR-V, but the Mitsubishi Outlander, the latest generation of that vehicle, for almost the same price as this Sport, you can get a GT, which gives you, get this, you'll get leather seating, you'll get a third row of seats, wireless charging, head-up display, large panoramic roof. The list goes on and on for the same price. Honda's done a very good job of this new CR-V. It's really an evolution of the previous generation for sure. And I think it has enough for what it takes to retain its spot at the top of this segment for sure. However, with more and more competition and how the competition is packaging their vehicles, that's going to be the challenge. I wouldn't say, you know, anytime in the near future, but, you know, coming down the road, I think Honda may have to sharpen their pencil a little bit or add a few more features to the CR-V to keep that spot near the top. That's it for our video today. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know, what do you think of the new CR-V? Do you own one, or would you consider one? If you're in the market for a compact crossover SUV, which one are you considering? What's on the top of your list? So hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe so you'll know when the new CR-V hybrid video comes out, which will be, I'll be shooting that in about 6 weeks after this one goes up. Thanks for watching. Safe driving.